Everyone, I hope you had a great evening. It seems like many did. Those late risers. Of course, the Admiral would be very upset with all of us today. I'm just here to really introduce the second day, which is from minerals to markets. I think we'll spend more time on the market side today. I'm also here to introduce Ben Prochazka, who's the Executive Director of the Electrification Coalition. I think what's so unique about SAFE and our partner, sister organization, the Electrification Coalition, is that the Electrification Coalition really was founded to work with all the players on the entire value chain of electrification, from the holders of lithium reserves to the, especially when we started, the holders of lithium reserves to the battery makers and smart grids and utilities and the car sellers and the buyers. And really, we wanted a practical vision of how to deploy at a mass scale, not to just make these, remember in 2008 it was very different, not to just make these like hybrids, which are incredibly, in some ways successful, but also just a niche part of the market. And so, but what makes it so unique and how it fits into what we're trying to do is that they are rolling up their sleeves and learning on the ground, working with dealers and rental car companies and utilities and governments and people of large fleets, and we take that information we're learning from them and we feed it into the policy analysis we do, which helps us come up with recommendations that we can recommend at the federal, state, and local level. And I don't think there's as many organizations that both have this roll up your sleeves attitude, learning on the ground in sort of a real world setting, and then coming back and trying to apply it in a political policy and regulatory context. Ben Prochazka, I'm super happy to have been his colleague for all these years. He was originally a consultant for the Electrification Coalition when we were fighting for our initial roadmap recommendations to happen. And I guess it was a match made in heaven. He came in and took over and has built a tremendous organization with over, I think we have about 27 people across the country, as I said, working every day with car makers, fleet operators, governments, utilities, charging companies, and we're super proud of them, and Ben's done a tremendous job. So Ben, please.
I did it. If you didn't realize that was Electric Avenue, just thought it was a little fun start to the day. So, well, hello, I'm Ben Prochazka, as Robbie said, and Executive Director of the Electrification Coalition, and I would like to welcome you to day 2 of the summit. I'm incredibly excited that you've joined us here today. I think it's important right now to talk about implementation and how we think about addressing the challenges and opportunities to electrify our transportation future. It's really where the hard work is going to happen at this point, now that we have all of the incredible policies that have happened over the last several months to really drive electrification to that next level. But before I talk about the goals for today, I want to start by thanking our incredible team at the Electrification Coalition and SAFE. They work tirelessly every day to create the policies and actions that we need to electrify our nation's cars, trucks, and buses. From Nevada to Michigan, North Carolina to Colorado, Florida, and many states in between, they are in the field every day working to drive electrification at scale. But right now, due to a myriad of global challenges and opportunities, transportation electrification has become a global priority. The shift to electrification has been progressing at an incredible rate, but is now at a critical inflection point, both globally and in the US. For decades, oil has been powering our transportation system, and as you can see, in the US, we consume 20 million barrels of oil per day. So for perspective, for every panel we do, that's roughly 900,000 barrels that we'll be consuming in the US. And oil's monopoly on our transportation system has created political and national security instability that impacts consumers and businesses and continues to threaten our public health, and has now led to transportation being the single largest contributor to GHG emissions. The pressure to solve these challenges and our oil dependency has led to incredible commitments and policy actions to electrify transportation by national and local governments. And today I would argue the debate has already shifted. It's no longer a question of if the future will be electric. It's now just a question of when. The combination of commitments and policies has also created a seismic shift with the entire supply chain that has included billions in financial commitments from the public and private sector. And we continue to see announcements every day. And with the passage of the bipartisan infrastructure law, the Inflation Reduction Act, and many of the other policies that are happening across the country, there is now a 30x increase in funding to meet the ambitious targets for electrification. And while we're excited about this momentum to meet the pace needed to hit these ambitious goals, we still have so much more to do. Since our founding in 2008, the Electrification Coalition has been working to accelerate transportation electrification. We've created innovative pilots with companies and governments to remove barriers to fleet electrifications. We've created new purchasing and procurement programs that will greatly reduce the time and cost of acquisition and have crafted and successfully passed policies around the country. Because we work at the intersection of policy and implementation, we deeply and directly understand the challenges we face on the road to electrification. The EC right now is working to do many things. We're building public and private partnerships that will drive results to create real-world experiences and developing lessons learned and best practices. We are also working to create the policy and the work that we need to drive the administration and to remove the barriers of electrification for all nodes and modes. We've created technical resources that support cities and states across the country to help them better understand the benefits of transportation electrification. And we're continuing to do that by helping every American understand the benefits of transportation electrification. It's fast, they're easy to charge, and they represent the very best in car, truck, and bus technology, and they're better for people and the planet. We have also created numerous public and private partnerships that include things like the Electric Freight Consortium and the Electrification Coalition Business Council. I'm very excited to see many of you here today, and we hope those will continue to foster and facilitate the action we need on the ground to meet our ambitious goals around driving electric. While the EC continues to find smart and strategic methods to drive electrification, we obviously can't do it alone. And that's why we've brought everyone here together today. Our amazing collection of panelists will talk about how we create new market and technology innovations, how we create a charging ecosystem that will support drivers in every community, and the policies and actions needed to electrify everything from passenger cars to semis. The work to accelerate electrification is a marathon and a sprint. And it seems right now we have the political will and the technology finally aligning to make electrification of transportation a reality, and this is our EV moment. We hope today this will bring us one step closer to the finish line. The hard work to drive implementation is really just the beginning, and we look forward to working with all of you to plug in. So I'm very excited to be here. I look forward to the conversations that are about to happen. I think we've brought together an incredible community of panelists, and I want to start by taking this opportunity to introduce the moderator for our first panel. So if you would please join me in welcoming Christine Weidig, who is the Executive Director of the Coalition for Reimagining Mobility.